Welcome to the Streaming Our Stories, or SOS podcast, where we use this platform to promote Cela Fest vendors and artists like Oli Artesana. Why don't you start off by telling us your name and what part of Cela you rep?
Hi, my name is Oliva Ramos. I'm under Oli Artesana. I live in Southgate. I was when I came here, I was in South Central, and then we moved to Southgate like 25 years ago. And yeah, I'm very close to Bell.
What is your product, merch, medium, art? What can people buy from you? And I'll pull up the photos while you talk about it so they could see it.
I'm an artesana, which means like I make a lot of things by hand with like jewelry. I use metal like silver, copper, and basically those are the only ones that I use. But I could work with other materials. But I use gemstones like healing stones, and I put them together. I wrap them around with wire, or I use macramé, which is hilo encerado, and then I do the macrame around the stones, or I make like earrings around copper or other wire. And I also paint. I love painting, and sometimes when I need like a little break from jewelry, I paint and or I play some music, not too much, but yeah, I like doing all that stuff.
Tell me your story. Why do you make jewelry? Why do you make art? How long have you been doing it? Where does it come from? Why do you do it? I'm really interested to find out your whole journey in this. So, this is your chance to just tell us your whole life story in 8 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I was born in Mexico in Guanajuato, and basically my whole family, as like the females, they used to do all the chores around the house, like cleaning, and after that they would just gather and do crochet. That's what I started doing at the beginning when I learned how to crochet, and then in school they would teach us how to do macrame, which is we used to do the basic friendship bracelets. And when I came over here, I was 12 years old, and I was, and the life over here is totally different. Like it was in Mexico, I used to just get out of the house and run around and play everywhere and go to my grandma's house. Like it was, everybody knew each other. And over here, it was so boring that I had to do something with my hands. And I started crocheting more. And when I got to high school, I would just make little jewelry pieces for my friends just to give them away. And one of the, uh, I guess, I think it was the vice principal. She saw me wearing a hat that I had made, and she asked me to make her one exactly like this. So I started selling from there. Like I liked going to Venice. I met a lot of artesanos there, which I started getting ideas from them and um, sharing ideas. And I started going to sell over there. And I would just make crochet like bufandas, hats, purses. And from my friends, I started making. I started getting ideas and started making wire wrapping stones. And yeah, and I started going to Alivio open mic like 4 years ago, like 4 years ago. And it's always been like super awesome to be there, because it's the community. It's always very welcoming, and it feels just like, like the family. And the Sela Art Fest started. I went to the 2 years that happened there, and then it was really amazing. And yeah, like that's basically what I do.
So, how old were you when you started vending in Venice? Because I think that's kind of incredible. I mean, I always see vendors out there, but I don't know many people who just kind of jump and go and do that. So, I think that's kind of incredible.
It was different before because anybody would just go. I was like it was after high school, maybe like I was like 20, 21, and it was totally different. Everyone could just go and set up. But later on in life, the vendors from that have a store um, set right there, like they're paying rent. They started complaining about the like it was just the political.
Politics, yeah, politics for sure.
Yes, and so that's when everything just changed, and you couldn't just go and set up. You had to have a permit. It had to be. You couldn't make jewelry because most of the people that have their stores there, they sell jewelry, and you can so if you're making your jewelry and selling it, it wasn't fair for the stores.
I feel you.
So um
So how did you
yeah.
meet Citlalic, and how did you find out about Alivio? And I mean, I know you're from Southgate and you're like in the heart of it, but some of the vendors that I've interviewed earlier are actually not from Sela. They're
Mhm.
from Rosemead or South Central or Inglewood, and they heard about it because all the organizing that we're doing. But it seems like you were involved before. You were from the first Sela Arts Fest. So how did you find out? How did you meet everybody? Like, how did you find out about Alivio? I'm just curious of that connection.
It's funny because I learned from Olivia Open Mic and East LA because most of the people that I used to go, like I used to go to the art walks in East LA in downtown, and that's where I heard from Olivia Open Mic. They would invite me. Oh, why don't you go to Olivia Open Mic? And then I decided to ask Eric, and then he asked me, he referred me to Citlali, and then that's how I started going. But it's been amazing because I go to other events, but it's very Alivio Open Mic is always like very welcome.
It definitely has its own feeling and vibe. It's very homey and welcoming. I've gone to
Yes.
other events and you're not sure if you're at a place, or if this gets kind of cliquey, or people already know people, but right there it always feels like everybody knows each other, and it's just a
Yes.
good time and very
Oh no,
respectful and
but
like
yes,
positive vibes and all that.
yes. And don't forget the food. It's always good. Like they have really good food.
I mean, it's that soul food, de la casa and stuff.
Yes.
um,
Homemade.
so we have a couple more minutes. If you just want to shout out your Instagram or where people can buy your jewelry, this has been an awesome conversation. I feel like you and Citlalic are kind of similar in that you were doing like the crafting and artisan and vendor stuff since like childhood, and
Yes.
it's so cool, how there's like this community of new vendors, and they're mixing with like veterans who are showing them the ropes and creating a more vibrant vendor community. Everybody is helping each other out, and there's like years of experience and people that are organizing all these things, and I think that's so cool. So just shout out where people can
Thank
find you
you.
and follow you, and yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram under Oli underscore Artesana. Same thing on Facebook. I don't have a website where I sell my stuff, but right now how things are, I'm welcoming people to come to my house. They can show up, and with of course with just like not crowds, and with like wearing a mask. But I also offer deliveries, or I can mail out the stuff if they're interested in a specific piece that they like, and they want to like a different stone, or
Like a
just
more
like
customized
yes,
piece or something.
yes, I can. They can always reach out to me and ask me for the details.
Cool. So you're still in business. If you need your stones, earrings, bracelets, jewelry,
Yes.
hit up Oli, and make sure to tune in to the next episode of SOS, where we're bringing you everything Sela Arts Fest. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.